I just talked to a business owner earlier today, and she gave me the number of $400,000 pure profit. She pays her taxes quarterly. We're going to
Mhm.
save her over $11,000 per quarter, and she's just like, that's insane.
Chris G, Hard Hat CEO. Guess what? We're going to talk about how to save money. And this is not just like saving money by picking this brand of bread over that brand of bread. I'm talking about saving some real dough from the taxes. That's right. And this is a unique way to do this. And I'm kind of excited because, like, this is rather interesting. And I could possibly save some money. Or you call it saving money, but you're not just giving it back to Uncle Sam. You're actually keeping more of your hard-earned money working for you. And the person that's going to help us do that is Sally. Sally, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on your show, Chris.
Sally, I apologize. I usually ask, I didn't want to pronounce your last name incorrectly. I usually ask and I forgot. How do you pronounce your last name?
Gimon. It's a made-up Slavic name.
Gimon.
Hmm.
Well, it's spelled just like it sounds. Gimon. Gimon. Well, Sally, well, tell us about what you do and how you're going to help us today. Make some suggestions on how to help us today, I guess.
A little bit about my history. I became a real estate investor late 2018 when my mom got sick. She got septic of the blood. She was on the ventilator for 13 months, in the hospital 15 months. Thank God she got better and came home. 2019, with my mentor, I wholesaled 7 bank-owned properties nationwide, paid off $184,000 in debt, completely debt-free, had $50,000 in my bank account, and everything was going great, and COVID started. Everything I was doing in real estate shut down because the bank shut down. The court system shut down.
Mm-hmm.
On April 1st, 3 of my 4 properties did not pay me because you didn't have to pay your mortgage if you had an FHA loan on the Bank of Sally. I'm not
Right.
FHA. And on April 4th, my CPA called me to tell me my tax bracket. I'm not sure if your listeners are aware. There's 7 different layers to tax brackets. The more money you make, the more money you pay. My tax bracket went from 22% to 24%, and I owed the federal government $94,000 in short-term capital gains. I had $50,000, but I was $24,000 short, and I was broke. And Chris, my solution, I took a HELOC off my paid-off house, that defeats being paid off, paid my bill.
Exactly.
I started researching. I don't know if you know about the Rockefellers, but I had read an article about the Rockefellers Spendthrift Trust. It's called The Office. It's 7 generations old. And if the Rockefellers can save money, why can't I save money? So in September of 2020, I started both my business and my beneficial Spendthrift Trust. The gentleman who I talked to, who works for the same law firm, I said I want to teach this to my real estate group, because if I have to pay capital gains, why should my fellow real estate investors not do this? I became his affiliate. Sad story. His name was Ron. I talked to him on a Thursday. He was supposed to send me something by email. Call him back on a Tuesday. Somebody else picks up his phone. He's 59 years old. He had appendicitis. It burst, and he passed away on a Saturday. I thought my side hustle from real estate was over with. The law firm that I now work directly with called me and said, you know what you're doing? Why don't you become our direct affiliate? So I now work with U.S. business owners, entrepreneurs, franchisee owners, 1099 income earners to save at least 90% on their federal income taxes legally. It's an IRS tax code 643B. They'll no longer pay state income taxes. And then U.S. investors with the beneficial trust will no longer pay any taxes on profits year after year, generation after generation. And it's an amazing thing. It's not taught in schools. I researched it for 5 months.
I'm sure that's taught in schools. Are you saying that we can defer, not even defer, we don't have to pay taxes on, say, even like the 1099 guys out there? We can get rid of the taxes?
Correct. You still pay a little. You're not completely tax-free, but saving 90%, you're not working harder, you're not working longer, you're just saving the taxes. And People keep telling me this is too good to be true, and I'm not trying to be political, but if you remember our current president debating Hillary Clinton, and she accused him of not paying taxes, and Donald Trump says to her, because
Yeah.
I'm smart. Oh, no, no, no. Donald Trump wasn't smart. Donald Trump's father, Frank Trump, started this trust in 1972. And so the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Carnegies, the Kennedys, the Trumps, if you remember
The
Robin
Clintons,
Williams.
they all do it. I mean, they all do
Correct.
it.
Correct.
I mean,
Correct.
they all, but majority of them do who
People
know
who
about it.
know, the people who know how to do this. And because you're having me on your show, Chris, now your listeners are going to know how to do this.
I probably got a target on my back somewhere. This is awesome. So this is amazing. So you're saying you save, you still pay taxes, but you pay a lot lesser taxes than others. And that money
Exactly.
could go into somewhere else. Can you take that money that's in somewhere else, say your trust you're talking about, can you reinvest it?
Exactly. You're gonna get a new EIN or employee identification number. You're gonna open
Yeah.
up a new bank account. You're gonna have a debit card with that access to that money. The business trust, I'm not trying to crow, but in 2022, 2023, I personally saved 92% in federal income taxes. Yes, I paid 8% to the federal government, but I didn't pay
Okay.
North Carolina state income taxes. 2024, same information, same CPA. It went up to 93% savings. So I wrote a check for 7% to the federal government. And as Susie Orman says, thank you. I appreciate writing this check. I mean, saving 93% of money. I don't make a lot of money with my 1099. I have online businesses, but
Sure.
why not?
So I'll give a scenario, and I know you've got some stories you want to tell me. Well, let's just take me first. All right. So I have a property. I sold some properties off when the boom was high, and I'm waiting for it to. I expect it to fall at some point. It's going to fall a little bit, and then reinvest in other rental properties because the prices are better. But when I sold those, and say I use your system, pay my say 10% taxes, and take the other 90% and put it into this trust, can I have access to that money?
Correct.
And I have access to it, so I can use it to invest in other properties.
Correct.
One, am I ever to live off that money at all?
So my first property that I put in the trust, I bought it in my LLC. It was a bank-owned property for $20,000. I bought it from the bank. It's going to go to auction for $50,000 in July of 2020, middle of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I had to sit on it until August 29th. When it finally went to auction, it started at $50,000. I knew the 24% tax rate that I was at, this in between the $30,000 would be $7,110 in capital gains I would save. When it went to auction and went for over $64,000 without lifting a hammer, I made $44,000 on that one deal.
Yeah.
I got to save $10,368 that I knew I wouldn't have to pay April. This was August 29th of 2021. I didn't have to pay it April 15th, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I took that $10,000 and got two more properties, wholesaled those two properties, and just kept doing this and doing this and doing this. It's an amazing thing.
If you take money for personal reasons, are you taxed on that?
Here's a yes/no answer. If
Okay.
you are the trustee or the beneficiary, and let's say you give a beneficiary money, they don't pay taxes. But when they go to Chick-fil-A and take a true story, I went to Chick-fil-A last week, got 4 sandwiches to go. Here in North Carolina, I paid $12 for takeout taxes. I paid those taxes. But the beneficiaries don't. Worst case scenario, Chris, your great-great-granddaughter in 2095 decides you were crazy and she cancels the EIN number with the IRS.
Yeah.
Your great-great-granddaughter will be responsible for the taxes of 2095. Anything that's saved in 2095, she will have to pay. Anything saved in 2025, 2026, 2030, 2040, 2050, anything that wasn't paid at that time, she'll never have to pay them back.
Now, there's no really reason for her to want to cancel that EIN if we got the proper
You'd be
people.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't take this wrong. You'll be dead. You won't know what your crazy great-great-granddaughter's
know.
doing.
But you can set trust up. I don't know about your trust, but I got another trust, and they had to have somebody overseeing their money. I got it set up where they have an accountant. It's like, no, they're not going to make decisions on their own. Somebody a
Correct.
lot smarter than that.
You can set that up the same way. Overseer. I'm single, so it wasn't the law office I work with. They told me I would have to get an associate trustee, but it was Wells Fargo who would not open up a bank account until I had an associate trustee that I get hit by lightning or run over by a school bus.
Yep.
Somebody can take it over. Correct.
So tell me a success story other than your own. Like you have contractors, plumbers, electricians,
Correct.
anything like that? How they use it?
This is somebody in Virginia. He's a contractor. He saw my video. He calls me January 3rd of this year, 2025. He knows in 2024, his company, his own, he works out of S Corp. He made $150,000. He's single. So there's 4 ways to file your taxes. Single's the most expensive way.
Yep.
Head of household, if you have children under the age of 18. Then married filing separately, and then married filing jointly is the cheapest way. People don't realize this, but January 1st of 2025, they made married filing separately the same as single. They increased their taxes, and no one talked about it. They keep talking about tax breaks and everything else. Oh, no. The IRS changed things. So he's 29 years old, made $150,000 in 2024. So we use, assuming he's going to make $150,000 in 2025.
Yeah.
Saving 90% on federal taxes, and then Virginia state income taxes. Whoa, I might give you the wrong number, so please forgive me. I think it's 5.3%.
Okay.
He's going to save $34,598 over the next 12 months in 2025. Then the same thing in 2026, and so on and so on. And he's just like, what if I buy equipment? I'm like, you can do whatever you want with this money. When you do Google tax code 643B, I want you to research this as much as you can. Your CPA, your financial planner, and you'll find it on Google. They'll talk about an opinion letter the IRS wrote. They do not like tax code 643B. They do not like the irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor spendthrift trust. Well, in my opinion, Chris, I do not like lima beans. Don't ever make me eat lima beans.
I don't like the IRS, so.
Exactly. So only Congress can change the tax code. Our current president, too many senators, too many Congress people, too many of their donors know about this. You know, the very rich know about this. They're gonna. I hate to say it, they squeeze the middle class. And I mean, this is a true story. The Amazons of the world get free land on Staten Island. My brother lost his brewery because the rent went too high. I mean, that's not fair. He had the brewery for 8 years.
So let me give it a scenario, because I like to talk about, I want to help my clients, my business owners, create that money tree, which the money tree is their business. And in this case, it could be a 1099, I guess. It could be a self-employed.
The only people I can't help are W-2 income earners, because their taxes are taken out before you see the paycheck.
Right. This is 1099, which is a good distinction.
Correct.
Not employed people, but 1099 people.
Exactly.
Okay. And so you take that money and you put it into your deal. But let me go back to so I talk about creating a money tree. Your business is your money tree, generating profits. You take those profits, you invest them in other money trees. So eventually you have an orchard of money trees, or basically a great portfolio. You could do that with this.
Exactly. Only thing that changes, just so you understand,
sure.
Gilman doesn't own the money tree anymore. Your trust owns it. The trust owns it. That's the only difference.
No, I understand that because I have a trust already. That makes sense to me. Some people might not, and that's right. So I know you're not a lawyer and you're not an accountant, so we're just make that clear. You're just giving your experiences. So for right now, for example, I have LLCs, and if I die or something happens, it goes to the trust. But you're saying that doesn't happen this way. It's going to be owned by the trust. Do you have any liability Like, do you
No,
have LLCs owned by the trust, or
no
how's that work?
liability. I'm going to send you the DMV. You're going to change the titles of your car to the trust name.
Right.
You're going to change the title to your house to the trust name.
Hmm.
And then you're going to decide who your beneficiaries are and who are not your beneficiaries. You have complete control over this.
Hmm.
And if you understand the Rockefellers trust, they have it all set up with insurance. So if Joey Rockefeller wants to open a McDonald's, he takes out this insurance policy, and the trust get when he dies, the trust gets the money. But my brothers and sister-in-laws don't do that. My real estate that I have, I'm now helping 3 of my nieces with student loans. I have enough money to be helping other family members, if that makes sense.
That is phenomenal. I have a few other questions in.
Mhm.
So right now, for example, if you're paying taxes, you should be putting money aside, because sometimes that gets, well, even paid quarterly, that money gets ate up, and then when it's time to pay the taxes, you don't have it. You have to put the money aside right away in this system.
I didn't fund the trust. For me, my trust was not funded until that first property, that auction house that I sat on for
Well, a couple,
13 months
yeah.
till it got funded. My business trust was funded because I had 3 online businesses that I get paid on, and that was
Hmm.
funded first. Um, my personal story, I didn't have the money. I mean, when my CPA called me on April 4th, 2020, and told me I owed $94,000, he wanted me to get on a payment plan with interest to pay off my, and I'm like, no, I'll take money out on my paid off house. It's much easier to do it that way.
For those of us who have an existing trust, can you set this up and modify it, I guess, to do what you want to do?
Most people, 97% of the trusts sold every year are what's called a family trust or living trust. My mom and dad had that. Susie Orman has that. It's built to avoid probate. Not a bad
That's what
thing.
I have. I have a
Okay.
living trust. So we're talking about something different, right?
This is the full title, so people can write this down. It's irrevocable, so it goes from generation to generation.
Hmm.
Complex, it can hold money day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year. The law firm I work on behalf of has a trust that turned 350 years old in 2023, before we were a country. Irrevocable, complex.
Yeah.
Whoever's a trustee or trustees make the rules for the beneficiaries while they're alive and from the grave. Non-grantor. So when I'm not sure how you set up your trust, if it's you and your wife or just yourself, but when having a living trust, when you pass away, that trust dissolves, that EIN number goes away, and then all your assets get divided up to whoever your beneficiaries are.
Yeah.
Because this trust is non-grantor, someone who's never going to be a trustee or a beneficiary becomes the grantor or the settler. And so that never happens. And then the spendthrift, these 5 elements, the spendthrift has been in front of the United States Supreme Court on 2 separate occasions and won both times. It's as legal can be.
It is crazy. Do you know what year this? All right. So the IRS was started in what, the
February
20s, the
1913.
20s? 13.
February
Okay, 13.
1913.
The year my grandmother was born. That's okay. This is a number. All right. So February 1913. Did we have the IRS then?
I don't know. The trust comes from England way
Yeah.
back in 15, and I'm probably going to I'm dyslexic, so if I give you the wrong date, I have to apologize.
That's fine.
1563,
Yeah.
when King Henry VIII, that famous king who chopped off his wives' heads, hey, murder a few ladies, he started the Church of England so he could divorce them. He went to go tax the lords and ladies of England.
Sorry. Yeah.
They went further back to the Magna Carta in the 13th century, and it's contract law. So it came to the colonies while we were still part of England. That's how the law firm has inherited this trust.
And contract law is very important. Just so I took a business law class.
Contract is you're going to have a contract between the law firm and yourself. So if I don't have a crystal ball, but if the IRS goes away tomorrow, this contract is between you and the law firm.
Gotcha.
Paul Benson, who was a Harvard law professor who started this law firm, wrote the 5 separate trusts to save very specific money. The 2 biggest trusts I sell, the business trust for U.S. business owners, entrepreneurs, franchisee owners, 1099 income owners, save income taxes. The beneficial trust to no longer pay taxes on profits. I work with a lot of business brokers because when you sell a business, you have to pay long-term capital gains. And when you buy a business, you get to save 1099 income. The law firm's been around for 77 years. Now his grandson and great-grandson run the law firm. In 77 years, not a single trust has ever been audited. They're so confident that they'll give you a certification.
I wonder why. Go ahead.
If you get questioned by the IRS, they'll defend you free of charge. In 77 years, it's happened once. It was a business trust. The senior IRS agent went down to Houston, where the law firm is, sat in the boardroom for 5 hours, went over everything, and he approved it. I mean, it's an amazing thing. And I want to help other people. I mean, my real estate group, I sold 14 trusts to real estate investors when Ron unfortunately passed away. And then I don't know if you know who Bob Proctor is, but I'm a student of Thinking the Results. My
Bob Proctor, yeah.
Fantastic program. My coach said, "You're playing too small. I need you to start your own business and start helping other people."
Sure.
I was telling you, I just talked to a business owner earlier today, and she gave me the number of $400,000 pure profit. She pays her taxes quarterly. We're going to save her over $11,000 per quarter, and she's just like, "That's insane." Not working harder, not working longer. She's going to save that money when she starts her trust.
$11,000 per quarter, so $44,000 a year that she would have been paying to the government.
Correct.
Now she can. It's tax free, and she can. I'm sure
She's not tax free. She's still. I hate to say
how's
this.
that work? Okay, so it's not tax free,
Mhm.
but it's deferred, or what?
You're going to file a 1041 tax return, not a 1040. So no longer all these deductions and everything else.
Right.
We're going to introduce you to the CPA who knows how to do this. You can work with the CPA we introduce you to, and if you get questioned, that's when the certification comes through. It's written correctly. You're going to have you're going to get a new EIN number. You're going to open up a new bank account at the same bank, but a new same routing number, but a new bank account. You'll have access to that money with a debit card. You can build business credit with that new EIN, and it's just an amazing thing. It is. I wholesale 28 properties. I have 12 notes. I have a crypto bot between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Every time someone buys it, I get paid 20 cents, 30 cents. I make about $60 a day. I have 12 notes. I have 3 rentals. I have 4 seller financing. My friend does my options trading for me. I have not paid any taxes on that in 2020 since I started this trust in 2022.
Awesome. Now, I don't want to get into the weeds as far as there is an investment involved, I'm sure, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's cool. But obviously,
I'll be honest, it's $20,000 one-time payment.
Yep.
There's no upkeep. There's no, hey, I just bought a new car. There's an entire team that works with you. We answer your questions. We make sure you know what you're doing, and you have the documents. And it's most of my clients after 2 months are like, I understand this. I don't need to talk to anybody anymore.
And that's for the life of the trust, right?
From generation to generation. I don't know how you do your books, if you use Quicken Books or something else. I'm still old-fashioned. I'm on an Excel.
Okay.
Spreadsheets. Yep. I send Excel spreadsheets, and my CPA is like, okay, I'll tell you a funny story. I make a lot more money in my beneficial trust than my business trust. I was going to different counties. I stopped at a QT to run in to use the bathroom, get gas, and they had my favorite donut. Cake donut, chocolate icing, and sprinkles on top.
Okay.
I don't need a damn donut. It's $2, and I have the wrong debit card. I have my beneficial trust debit card. The only thing the beneficial trust does not pay for is food, personal food, fun, and fashion. You do what's called a demand letter off of whatever's in your, I was still using my car, my house, is what you paid for it. So I did a demand letter for $2.22 for a donut. And she's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I don't want to pay taxes on that thing. So yeah, that was in 2023.
You said car. So you can buy a car with this.
Here's the truth for me. On February 4th, coming from South Carolina back to North Carolina, just got a full tank of gas because it's cheaper in South Carolina. Kind of unfortunately, the 17-year-old kid with no insurance ran a stop sign, T-boned me, my engine's in the middle of the road. I went to the dealership and I'm like, I'm going to pay for this trust cash. And, and they're like, no one's done that before. And I'm like, I need your routing number and your account number, and I need
They'll
it to be
take
set
care
up
of it.
this way. And
Yep.
the guy had questions for me, but I bought my car. It was, I'll be honest, it was a rental car, 2024 rental car. So I got a little bit cheaper, but I paid for it completely cash. My insurance card shows the trust name, things like
Right.
that. But can I tell you a crazy story?
I love stories. Tell me.
I'm a real estate investor. I go out to my national real estate meeting in 2022. The gentleman sitting next to me has a Rolex watch, a 5-carat pinky ring, mad as hell, a wet hen. He's from Chicago, has 100 doors or 100 rental properties in Chicago. One of the rental people, the dog got out, bit the mailman. Mailman hires an attorney. The attorney found 4 of his LLCs, and he got paid $400,000. I'm like, Don, I have a way to save you money. I have not seen his RV, but think of those beautiful RVs at NASCAR and things like this, a $250,000 RV.
Sure.
Last summer in July, he couldn't slow down for an accident. He hits the car in front of him, that pushes her to the car in front of her, so one car gets squished.
Right.
His insurance card shows the trust name. His Illinois driver's license shows all of Don's information. 4 weeks after the accident, he gets a $500,000 pain and suffering lawsuit, calls me going, what the heck? I'm like, you've got the name of the attorney. All you're going to do is send the front page of your trust to the attorney and see if he follows up. 5 weeks later, he calls me back. He's like, I haven't heard anything. You just saved me $500,000 in a lawsuit. I'm like, I'm saving you thousands of dollars in rental income taxes too. So it's, I mean, even when someone finds out about it, you're protected.
Now, this is Chris being, so if my listeners are paying $20,000 or more in taxes, let me give an example, okay? And I guess a little bit more, but basically the $20,000 investment to do this, can you write that off on your taxes as expense?
I didn't.
I would want to. I'd try it. Maybe they'd let me.
Correct. I'm going to be honest. When you do file a 1041 tax return, what do you do with the trust? There's no deductions or deductibles from that.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, that $10,000.
You're going to save that. You're going to save it, really.
I have saved it more and more. I mean, my first house, I paid for half of the trust. Another thing I did, 2023, I have to do it again. In my zip code, I went to a real estate agent who works with investors. In my zip code, not the foreclosure, the pre-foreclosure list, I had 224 houses. I Googled something. I made a document of the 10 ways to save your house. I went to all the houses, door knocked, and left a little flyer for it. One of the houses down the street from me, lived in house, husband and wife, 2 kids, 2 dogs. I hate to call them the Joneses, but driving beautiful cars, but the dogs had peed on the carpet and they didn't change the carpet out. The real estate agent gave them 14 things. Redo the kitchen. The house is 22 years old. They don't have the money to do this. His company's moving him to Houston, Texas. The real estate agent gave him this whole list of things to do. They're 18 months, didn't pay their mortgage for 18 months. So now they're 34 months behind, 34 years on the mortgage. The wife's like, I don't want to foreclose. I don't know what I'm going to do. So what I did was a subject to. They're going to live in corporate housing for 3 months down in Houston. I did an open house the next weekend with the same real estate agent, so she got her commission. I went to all the neighbors and said, I'm putting this house $100,000 less than anything else. Here's what the real estate agent said to change. They made $50,000. And I made a whole lot more. On that one house, I saved $37,962 in interest income taxes doing the subject to on that one house. I mean, that's what the trust on that one piece of property paid for the trust.
Oh. I think I know the answer when I asked this one. So for us non-trusters at the moment, we sell a property, we can do a 1031 exchange, and then kick the old taxes down the road and so forth. Is there any need for 1031 exchange when you do this?
Here's a sad story. I've talked to at least 25 adult children whose parents are incapacitated. They've had a stroke, they've had a heart attack, something else. They sell a property and didn't know it was a 1031 exchange. All of a sudden, all
Oh,
the
you mean the parents knew it,
the
but
parents knew it, but
gotcha.
the adult children didn't know it.
Oh
And this
man,
humongous tax bill comes back, and they're like, "What the heck?" And I'm like,
whammy.
"They were doing this maybe for 15 years, maybe
Yeah.
for 30 years." The problem with a 1031 exchange, and I'm not saying don't do it. I've done a 1031 exchange
Oh
3
yeah.
times.
I mean, they're handy for sure.
You've got what 180 days to find a like property for a like property.
They keep changing the rules, but yes.
But
Anyway,
and it's a great thing to avoid the capital gains, but as soon as you stop doing it, the taxes are due. And this
correct.
does away with having to do that. And these adult children who are calling me because they're like, "How do I get?" And I'm like, "I can't help you because this was I can't save taxes before. So if you start the trust July 1st, I save you taxes from July 1st going forward.
You can't
I
cover
can't
the
save anything
past.
from June 30th going backwards, if that makes sense."
Right. Yep. All
But
right.
yeah, I know the 1031 exchange, but as soon as you stop doing a 1031 exchange, that's when it comes back at you.
Mm-hmm. Sally, I thank you for your time. This has been great. I expect a lot of questions. I'm expecting a lot of comments, and you should have comments. Excuse me.
Exactly. I mean, why do the rich know this and the regular people? I mean, when I started real estate investing, I was an insurance broker and hated it. And real estate investing got me out of it, but I was on this roller coaster that just wouldn't stop. I mean, I thought I was doing things right, and I have a $94,000 tax bill I can't afford. That's just crazy.
For sure, you're in the show notes. Is going to be a link. Now, does that link going to take you to you or take you to a counter? What's that going to take them to?
I gave you my affiliate link. You're going to use that for put it on your show because it's your audience. Someone who wants to reach out to me, that link, you're going to be tagged in my Go Higher Level system, but they're going to come directly to me when they set up a 30-minute tax breakthrough session, like I did with the lady this morning. I take her out to NerdWallet, a free website, show her the formula for taxes, with a calculator. We're on Zoom, show her all the information. And then I send her an email with all the information if she decides to go forward or not. And she's like, $11,000. She's like, "Do you know what I could do with $11,000 per quarter?"
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to pay it. It's going to pay for itself in 6 months?
6 months, exactly.
Yeah, sweet. Sally, thank you. Show notes, find it, click on it, go sign up. At least talk about it. And
Now they know that. Now they have an extra quiver in their information. Maybe they can't afford it today, but true story. I just worked with a business broker selling an HVAC company.
Yeah.
Husband and wife started it 17 years ago. Have 12 trucks. They sold it for I'm going to use numbers I know, for let's say $3 million. They will not pay. I'm not an accountant. And April 15th, 2026, they will not pay $450,000 in capital gains or $600,000 in capital gains. The gentleman who bought the HVAC company is going to save over $82,000 a year in taxes. And
so not only did we get the seller, we got the buyer.
Well, and the business broker paid $2,000 extra on this deal, and he's just like, he's getting more clients because he's telling him, "I'm going to save you. I know how to save you capital gains." And the gentleman who bought it, he's just like, he's going to save $24,000 per month, and he's like, "I'm going to put 2 more trucks onto this is Atlanta, Georgia." And he's just like, "Why not get 2 more technicians doing the HVAC now?"
Sure, grow his business. Not only in the show notes below, how to get a hold of Sally is also my link to my breakthrough session. And to get from being the hard hat to CEO, because CEOs do things like this we're talking about today. Also, go to Hard Hat CEO on the Facebook group and join that for daily inspirations and support as that goes. Sally, thank you very much. This has been a pleasure. I'm telling you.
I appreciate it.
I love talking about stuff, and not that I want to put it to Uncle Sam, but sometimes I do. I just like the fact that using our money that we worked hard for and using it as we see how instead of somebody else. So thank you all very much. It's been a Hard Hat to CEO. We'll see you again next Thursday. Bye-bye.